All right, welcome back. Today, we're jumping into something that feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's happening right now. We're talking about creating an HR department for your AI. Yep, we're going to break down Microsoft's Agent 365 and how it's totally changing the game for managing our new digital coworkers. So, let's start with the big question that drives this whole thing. What if you started treating AI not just as a tool, but like an employee? Imagine giving an AI an onboarding day, managing its performance, giving it access to tools, just like you would with a person. It's a huge shift in thinking, so let's see what that actually looks like. And this isn't just some small niche idea. We are talking about a massive, massive scale. Get this, the analyst firm IDC is predicting that by 2028, there will be 1.3 billion AI agents working alongside us. No, that is not a typo. That's a digital workforce bigger than the entire population of India. It's coming, and it's coming fast. So, it's time to meet these new coworkers. And we're not talking about robots walking around the office. We're talking about smart, autonomous software that can handle complex jobs all on their own. But as you can imagine, with this incredible rise comes a whole new set of pretty urgent challenges. And here is the number one problem. It's something called shadow AI. This is what happens when people in a company start building or using their own little AI helpers without any kind of official oversight. It sounds harmless, but it can turn into an absolute nightmare, creating huge security holes, leaking company secrets, and just wrecking any kind of compliance you have. Just so we're all on the same page, when we say AI agent, we're not just talking about a simple chatbot. Think of it as a digital entity that can actually do stuff on its own. It's a new type of employee that you can give a job to, give it access to what it needs, and expect it to deliver results. So how do you solve the chaos of shadow AI? Well, Microsoft's big idea is to give these digital employees a formal first day on the job. This is where that HR analogy really clicks. You wouldn't just let a new human hire run around the office without any guidance, right? The same idea now applies to your AI. And the onboarding process is probably going to sound really familiar. First, the agent gets a real, unique identity, just like an employee ID using Microsoft Entra. Second, it gets assigned a human manager, a real person who's responsible for it. And third, you set up clear guardrails, defining exactly what it can and can't do or access. This quote from Microsoft's Charles Lamanna just nails the whole philosophy. He says, "The best way to manage agents is to extend the infrastructure you use for managing users. Basically, don't reinvent the wheel. Just take the same trusted security and management systems you already use for people and apply them to AI." Okay, so your new digital employee is officially onboarded. Now what? Well, just like any new hire, it needs the right tools to actually get the job done and to do it safely. And again, Microsoft is just extending the tools you already know and trust. Entra gives the agent its secure ID. Defender is like its personal security guard, protecting it from threats. Purview acts like a compliance officer, making sure it only touches the data it's supposed to. And of course, Microsoft 365 gives it the apps it needs to work: Word, Excel, all the usual suspects. So let's make this feel a little more real. Imagine you're a marketing exec, you're totally swamped, and you need a big proposal for the board, like yesterday. Instead of panicking, you just go and assign the task to an approved AI agent. In this case, one from a partner called GenSpark. And then the magic happens. That agent gets to work. It goes online and does the research. It builds an entire PowerPoint deck. It writes up a summary in Word. It can even create visuals and a short video. And then it can jump into Teams to work with your human team to make it all perfect. We're talking about managing a whole project, not just one little task. But, and this is super important, this is not about replacing people entirely. The folks who built that GenSpark agent say it themselves. The AI can do maybe 90% of the grunt work, but that final 5 to 10%, what they call the last mile, that absolutely needs a human to verify, polish, and give it that final touch. It's all about collaboration. Okay, so your agents are hired, they've got their tools, and they're working away. But you can't just set them and forget them. You need to keep track of what they're doing. This is where the management part comes in. Think of it like a performance review and a security audit all rolled into one. Microsoft calls Agent 365 the control plane. A better way to think about it is like a mission control center for your entire digital workforce. It's one single dashboard where leaders can see everything, how the agents are performing, what they're using, and if there are any security issues, all in real time. And from that dashboard, you can track real business value. You can see exactly how many hours your agents save the company this week. You can see which ones are the most active. And crucially, you can see if any of them are triggering security alerts. It's all about measuring the good and managing the bad. This kind of control is a game changer. You can watch what they're doing, track their performance, and make sure they only access the absolute minimum data they need to do their job. And if an agent starts acting weird or going rogue, you can block it instantly.
Now, this whole system would be pretty limited if it only worked with AI that Microsoft builds itself. The real power here comes from creating a whole ecosystem, a marketplace where agents from all sorts of different companies can plug in and play by the same set of rules.
The big vision from Microsoft is what they call an agent factory. It's a place where you can either use their tools, like Copilot Studio, to build your very own custom AI agents from scratch, or you can browse a marketplace of trusted partners and securely deploy their pre-built agents. So you've really got two main paths. You can go the DIY route and build your own specialized agents using Microsoft's tools, or you can tap into this whole partner ecosystem and grab a ready-to-go agent that's an expert in a specific area. The best part is, no matter which path you choose, they're all managed from that same Agent 365 control plane. And look at the partners getting on board. We're talking about huge names like Adobe, ServiceNow, and Workday, right alongside these really cool AI startups like GenSpark and Glean. This isn't a small experiment. It's a serious industry-wide movement. So let's just zoom out and look at the big picture here. The Wild West of shadow AI are numbered. For decades, we've perfected processes for how to hire, manage, and trust our human employees. And now, for the first time, we're seeing a real, comprehensive framework for doing the exact same thing with our digital employees. And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on. As these AI agents get smarter and become a deeper part of our everyday work, a framework like this makes it clear that humans are still in charge. But it really makes you wonder, as these systems evolve, what will being in charge even mean in 5 or 10 years? Something to think about. That's all for now. See you next time.